Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mildly Competitive Podcast. Today we've got a couple of fun topics for you. We had 2 league challenges happen this weekend. We're going to go over the one that happened at our home store, E4 Cards and More, and the other that a couple of us traveled to at Leviathan Cards in Corvallis. It'll be fun to kind of hear Kraken Cards down in Corvallis. And we'll go over some of the results, how we went, who won, who was the cool, awesome winner, as well as DJ's shop review. So as we were traveling around, we'll go through and kind of highlight some stores we find and maybe what we liked, didn't like, things like that. Today we've got the full outfit here. We've got myself, Eric. We've got Casey, Trenton, Daniel, DJ, and Dyson.
What's up, nerds?
Hey guys.
What's up?
What's up?
Yo.
What's up? How we doing?
Let's start off with some league challenges. So this weekend we had our E4 Card Shop and More over here in Bend, Oregon League Challenge. We had 16 total people. I believe it was 11 masters, 3 seniors, 2 juniors, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Definitely
right, yeah.
skewed heavier to masters than non-masters. And it was 4 rounds. We had a winner. It was a really cool, unique deck by a really cool, unique pilot.
It was Arctura. It was Eric on Arctura.
Yes, I was playing Arctura, aka Unga Bunga, and I went 4-0 with it. It felt really good, actually. I was quite happy with how it ended up playing out. I played first round is actually against Trenton, of all people. Played the Arctur versus his deck, which he ended up, because I have to spoil it for everyone else, but he played Lost Box, as he's been wont for a while now. If you've caught any of his streams, he's been grinding Lost Box on Limitless for quite some time. Did not go well for him. He had kind of a scuffed start, and I had quite an okay start, and this matchup is notoriously bad for Lost Box. Just Lost City, and then being able to put up big basics with high HP just can do a big number on that deck. And he had an early decision of a boss's order or an energy to Lost Zone with a Comfy that ended up clutching quite early in that game, from what I recall.
Yeah, but I don't think it actually mattered, because if I had the boss, then I wouldn't have been able to attack with Dragonite because it was my second lightning. But if I had the boss, I would have been able to boss up some, but I couldn't attack with Dragonite anyway, so there was it. Yeah,
kind of a sticky situation. Yeah, so it was overall like not a bad match. It was I think we knew it was over before it actually ended quite early.
Yeah.
Just because I had a really good start and you had kind of a poor start.
Mm-hmm.
So, ended up winning that 1-0. I guess it was best of 1, so that was my first win kind of period. And then next I played against DJ. That was my round 2, right? Was DJ?
Yes.
Yes, that sounds right. Yes, that's right. Because you played against someone else round 1 and they gave you the win. So yeah, I played DJ round 2. He was to spoil his deck, playing a Noivern EX like lockout deck, which was super interesting. I'll let him explain more of it when it gets to his time to talk about it. But that was another one where I had kind of an okay start. It was actually quite good. I believe I started Umbreon, but I was able to get 2 arcs set up with an energy attachment. And then from there was able to just get swinging very quickly. And your deck requires quite a bit, not quite a bit, but a decent amount of setup, where I feel like I started a bit faster than you did. And then ended up with just a Duraludon in play, which can kind of hamper you if you can't get the path lock up, because that luminous energy is what kind of can make you attack. Although you almost had the right attach at one point, but it was still kind of, I feel like a little bit of I got up quickly and Arctura did Arctura things.
Yeah, it was, I believe, a boss or an Umbreon VMAX to knock out a Noiver or Noibat that had energy attachment early, and that just put me back a whole another turn.
Yeah, turn 2, I was able to retreat my Umbreon. VMAX it to bring up your Noivern or the Noibat that had the energy, and then go Arc, energy, attack, load up. Yeah, so that was another really fast start for the deck, which is what you want to see with it, but not for my opponent. They get to live with that. So that was another win, so 2-0 at that point. Third round, I played against Casey in my third round, right?
Yep.
No. Was it
Yep,
you?
we ran 3.
It was, yeah, twin on twin. That's right.
Twin on twin, baby.
He was playing Gardevoir, as he's been playing for a little bit. That one, I believe I also started Umbreon.
No, that was you had a normal start. It was Arc with.
Was it?
Yeah,
normal?
it was just a normal start.
That's right. The previous 2 rounds I started Umbreon, and that was like 4 matches like I've played in a row starting Umbreon as a 2 of in the deck. So that's fun. But that one, that one went really quick from what I recall.
I think there was a turn. My opening was. I stumbled somewhere. I can't remember where it was.
I think you didn't get a VIP early.
Well, I mean that's any deck that doesn't get a VIP early has a problem. I can't remember the specifics. It was there was some setup I whiffed on, or I can't remember.
I think you're just missing energy. Yeah, so I was able to Lost Zone your Zacian early, which I recall that. Because you just went like 2 routes and a Zacian, and then attached the Zacian, and I was able to boss it up and then knock it out to Lost Zone it, which isn't a huge deal, but got me an early 2 prizes. I think from then I was just taking a prize every turn.
Yeah, and I think you were able to Lost Zone a full Guardy line, small Guardy, which hurt.
That's right. Yeah, so Lost City putting in just a ton of work, just an absurdly good card. 8 out of 10 would recommend. And then finally I put it against another local player whose name is Chris, but not that Chris. We have like 3 Chris's, so it's hard to keep them all tracked together sometimes. But he was on... he was 201, so I was the only 3-0 going to that match. He was 201, and he was playing Arceus Regidrago, which was a copy of the, I believe it was Juniors winning list at NAIC. And that one, he got a terrible start, where he started a Kirlia, and then just couldn't get anything to draw. I started Luminion, which sucked. But I was able to kind of draw out of it. I had a Ultra Ball and also a Nest Ball, so I was able to get 2 arcs set up and going just the next turn. I couldn't get the free search off of Luminion, unfortunately. But the price you pay to play good cards. Ended up winning that one. It didn't feel very close. I was able to get my Arceuses going, and then I got a Duraludon up and running. Was able to one-shot his Regijago that had the 3 energy attachment from his own Arceus the next turn, which hurt him quite a bit and set him back. So at that point, it was pretty well cinched for me. And I ended up just needing to draw a boss, and got the boss the last turn I needed to win. So that was a clean 4-0
I have a question
across the event. What's up?
Did you offer the ID that round?
I thought so. Okay. So I thought about it,
Mm-hmm.
but I also realized he tends to go to time anyways.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you do offer the ID, you're guaranteed first either way.
I know. I wanted to play it out because 2-1-1 is still worse than 3-1.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he would have been 3-0-1. Yeah, he would have won if I lost.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is fine. I played it out. You're right. I should have ID'd. There was no benefit for him to ID. I don't think he would
have guaranteed a top. He probably would have got second, right, if he ID'd, because he finished top 4.
I believe you're correct.
So, I mean, it's not like a huge incentive, but it is a little bit of incentive guaranteeing the second.
That's a good thing to think about. I thought about it. I kind of half assumed we were going to go to time, but with how our starts and the play went, we actually finished quite quickly. So I was playing into that metagame of our players more than the actual game.
That's fair.
But ended up 4-0. What's up?
No, Eric, you've been playing Arctura for a while now. Is there some merit to say that sticking with the deck consistently and competing and making twigs gives you somewhat of an advantage of someone who picks up newer archetype, or what's your insight on that? 'Cause that was a great finish.
Yeah, I think because I've played Arctura pretty much since Arctura has become a deck. So with Astral Brilliant Stars, I believe is when Arceus first came out, and I've been playing Arctura since then as a deck. So I've played different variations of it back when you had the Metal Duraludon V, and there was a lot more special energy running around, and that was in the Lugia format, so it had kind of an upper hand. But then also the Rainbow Yveltal was kind of a pain in the butt. But I do feel that by knowing the deck as well as I do, and knowing its weaknesses into specific matchups, that does end up putting me at an advantage. Because even if I may not know the exact deck I'm playing against, I have a rough idea of their game plan, and so I can tune kind of which attackers or which Pokemon I charge up or get ready for that matchup. So like some matchups, I just toss any Duraludon I saw. Like against Gardevoir, I never tried to land a Duraludon. Or the Lost Box matchup, Duraludon's also kind of dead in that matchup, so you just rely on the Arceus and the Umbreon. So yeah, having that knowledge and the experience, I do feel helped quite a bit in knowing kind of what to do with my deck.
Yeah, I agree. I usually I haven't stuck with the deck that long, really, just because I get bored with the deck. But I also tend to like sticking with decks for like longer periods of time. Like I was on Mew for a few months. Now I've been on Lost Box for a while now. I think it really, really definitely helps you perform better if you stuck with a deck for a while.
Mm-hmm. There's the adage of like if you're more comfortable with the deck, you're more likely to sometimes also take risks that you know will pay off higher. Whereas if you're really like new to something, you're not gonna know when to take a risk or even what a risk looks like for the deck. So if you make this risky play that you don't know is risky and then you lose, you're like, oh, this deck feels bad because I made this play. It's like, well, actually, you shouldn't be making that.
And it also helps you like see what cards can be better into the meta and know how to better update your list as well.
Exactly.
That's some good advice for all our viewers out there. But thank you, Eric. Congrats on that win.
Thank you. It's well fought. It was not at all random or luck based.
It was not. Yeah, it was. It definitely wasn't a best of one format.
Although, Arceus is one of those weird decks where if you can get a good start, it feels really, really good. But best of one can hamper that. So I did feel I got kind of lucky with some of my starts, just getting what I needed.
Did you ever miss Arceus or Energy Attachment in any of your matchup?
No, I don't think I did.
I mean that
yes,
helps.
and that's the luck, right? Yeah.
Arceus is just a fantastic card. Trinity Charge 2 on the basic V can also get you backed up if you miss that turn one attach. So
totally. Yeah, super fun. Would recommend. And let's see who got. I believe it was Chris who got second.
No, it was Dyson.
No, yeah, Dyson.
That was Dyson. So how did your matchups go, Mr. Second Place?
I piloted Garantina Lost Box.
My mortal enemy.
It felt really good. Round 1, I played against a Lugia deck. I kind of checkmated his board. We went to time, and I just kind of finished the game off with Sableye to kill his Archeopses and his Vs, and use that powerful Star Requiem attack on that Tina. So I took that game 1 pretty easily. Round 2, what did I play? Round 2, I played.
You played Trenton around. No, was it Trenton?
No, I didn't play him.
Wasn't it Eric round 2?
No,
because I was you round 3. Yeah, it was Eric round 2.
No, I didn't play against you.
Oh, right.
I played. I remember.
He dodged that matchup.
Was it Dan?
No, that was round 1. And round 2, I played against. I think his son. Actually, I played against his son, and he was playing Miraidon. And man, I don't know, man. I can't beat a Miraidon deck.
Blue Shenpao.
He took that game pretty easily, getting the first knockout, just setting up really quick with that tandem unit ability. So I lost that game. Puts me at 1-1. Round 3, I played against DJ's Noivern deck. It was it was kind of a struggle, to be honest. That what's that second attack?
Dominating Echo?
Dominating Echo, or you can't play special energy cards and my special
Or stadiums.
Yeah, or stadiums. And my special energy card's a jet energy to switch around my guys. So that was a struggle at first, but DJ gave me the win on that one. And
Win trading? What?
No.
Judge?
no.
Oh wait, that's me.
Round 3. What did I play round 3? This is hard to remember. Round 3.
Right. Was round 3 not Trenton?
No, I never played him.
No, yeah, me and Trent never
Darn.
played.
Was it Casey?
No, I was you round 3.
Oh, right.
I
Gosh.
really should pull these up beforehand because I have it on my computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have the standings, but I don't have
The rounds.
the rounds.
Yeah, I do on my laptop.
I'm stumped. I don't know what I played round 3, but I know I won that game. And round 4, I played against Casey. And I just got to spit first. Take out his Gardevoir lines, his Ralts lines. But yeah, I was able to finish off 3-1, taking a second place.
Yeah, because you played Casey last round, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I played.
And you guys considered IDing, but ended up playing.
Yeah. I don't think it would have necessarily made a difference if we had ID'd or not.
It might have put you out of top 4.
Who?
Casey.
Well, Casey lost, didn't he?
Yeah, I lost and still got top 4.
Yeah. So if he had tied, he definitely would have got top 4.
201. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at this wrong. You're right.
It probably would have pushed Dyson out of his second, but it would have guaranteed him both top 4.
Right.
It probably
Would've
just
been
would have switched
3
Chris.
2-1-1s.
Yeah, it probably would have just switched Chris and Dyson around.
Right.
Right. Folks, yeah, we have these conversations. IDN is a strong tool that you can use to put yourself in the best position to either make a day 2 at a highly competitive rank, like regionals, or, playing against a fellow friend where you guys are both chasing your world. You guys give each other the best opportunity to both make points out of a single event. Because every point matters when it comes to attending these challenges or cups.
Third place was Chris, but not that Chris. He was playing. What was he playing?
He was on the Arceus.
Oh, that's right. The Art Drago.
Art Drago.
That's right. So fourth place was me. It was me, Casey. I got fourth place. I was playing the Gardevoir, as others have mentioned. And it's the first time I think I've played Gardevoir in a cup. So I'm still kind of figuring out the lines and kind of getting used to it. I went on a little bit of a tilt round 1. I don't know how much I want to go into it, but it was the player I was going against took their sweet time at the counter, slowly building their deck before they came over. Their plays were very long. It was an exercise in patience, I would say. But I did end up winning it. They were playing Tinglu. It was the first time they had played it. They're normally an online player, so they're still kind of getting used to shuffling real cards and getting used to like activations and stuff. So I was able to win that one. Round 2 was against Brad, friend of ours, bird herder, playing birds. So he was on just the normal Alex Shemensky list. Was able to cinch that one. I was super close though. Birds is scary. Birds is a very scary deck. Going into round 3, I went up against Eric, as we already talked about, and then round 4 was against Dyson, which we had also already talked about. So got some points on my scoreboard here, and got fourth place overall. It was interesting. Gardevoir is a very cool deck, but my word, is it reliant on seeing 3 routes turn 1 most times. Otherwise, if you stumble, especially in a best of 1, it is really rough to recover from. I get best of 1 for time, but man, it does not feel good for skill.
Play the special Corellia.
You
No.
know what? I thought about Mirage Step, and then I tore all my copies up, so I'd never actually run it.
It's a good plan.
It's not a bad idea in best of one.
To tear them all up, I agree.
All right.
I'm actually with Casey on this one.
This is why you dead draw against me every time in best of one.
Sorry, who got points this weekend?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I got points too. So
Sorry, who got points at our E4 league?
who got points at the bigger event?
Who cares?
Bigger pointer, better person. I'm joking.
All right.
And then from there, because that was your matchup. Yeah. So from there, it was Daniel got 5th. Not Daniel on the podcast, Daniel, but Daniel at E4. Trenton ended up in 6th place. I think you were pretty sleep deprived.
Yeah,
going into this event.
So round one, I'm played
giving you
against
that free
Arctura,
out.
which I think, unless you go first, it's a pretty bad matchup.
Yeah.
I do have a tech that can help that matchup and the Guardy matchup that I'm gonna try out.
And Guardy?
Yeah, it's good into both of them. So, well,
What in the world?
yeah, we'll have to.
You playing Charizard?
No. we'll have to see how it goes. But
This guy.
But yeah, round one I went into Eric, just a bad matchup. That was the one matchup I was hoping to dodge the whole event, and didn't really happen. I hit it round one, so that was kind of unfortunate. And then round two, I went into Brody, who was playing Lost Box, and that was we like nobody likes playing the Lost Box mirror. It's not a fun. It's not a fun matchup.
So many people do it.
I was really, really tired. I hadn't, like, at that point, I hadn't slept for, like, 24 hours or something. But, I definitely misplayed a fair share, but, Brody also misplayed a fair share, so I was able to pull it out just by, like, it was really, really down to the wire. And then, round three, I looked at my hand, I think I started Dragonite, yep, and I had like 3 Super Odds, a Clara, Raihan, and like something else in my hand that was unplayable. Switch card, I think. And then I drew, got my 4th Super Odd, I think, and he went first, so like he got his Lugia out, and then turn 2 he got his Archeops out, and he started Tyranitar as well, so he just knocked out with Tyranitar. So that was pretty unfortunate. At that point, the only thing I could really do was just hope to bubble in, but it was pretty unlikely since I lost the round 1. And then round 4, I played DJ, and I started out pretty hot in that match. I think I took like 3 or 4 prizes before I started doing stuff. But then he was able to lock me out with the Noivern for 4 or 5 turns. And I just kept digging. He kept Ionoing my boss away, but then finally I was down to like 2 cards in my deck, like 20, 25, 30 cards in the lost zone. So it was like, I was almost guaranteed the boss at that point. Because I had 2 cards left next, so I just flower selected and grabbed the boss. But yeah, it was a really close match in that last one.
And Daniel, how'd you do in your games?
So I watched everyone's games because I run the event.
Did you have to make any penalties? Penalize anyone?
I
Any fun judge calls?
I did have to give a child a game loss.
You monster!
Oh, right. That was against Brad.
Yeah,
Right?
he was taking 2 prizes for Flamigos that he thought were EXs.
Because they were the full arts, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't realize it till like way late in the game, which is kind of on both of them, but yeah.
I think one of them more than the other.
To be fair, that kid still got first place in juniors.
How many juniors were there?
2.
2.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
So yeah. Again, shout out to Oliver once again. He seems to make his way into the podcast at least once every couple of months.
1-4, or 1-3, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, that's points.
And that is points.
Yeah, I was able to play this challenge. I ended up bringing a Noivern EX deck with Klepkies as support to slow down my opponent's early turns as I set up the Noiverns. Um, you know, I definitely felt like there's something there with the deck. My matchups, I pretty much played against everyone on the podcast, so um, they all got to see and help take a look at the deck afterwards, and it's definitely something that we'll work on as a group and get the listeners a solid list that we feel is mildly competitive to take to a tournament. um, something, a text that we figured out that I wasn't playing was a Zacian V for War of the Sword to be able to make sure you get the turn one attachment onto a Noibat and maybe attach the two separate Noibats to avoid the box KO to slow you down. But
Just to add on to that really quickly, I've been testing that, and it feels pretty good.
I highly, highly agree. Because the deck doesn't play a V-Star, so being able to add 4 Seal Stones, and we talked about an Arvin engine to maybe search out a 4 Seal Stone and a VIP pass, and we're able to double VIP pass games and really get set up is something crucial. But both attacks seem really, really strong in the format. I was playing Curlia engine to be the draw support, Buddy Catch Delay to search out supporters and Ionos to keep my opponents low. There are some tech supporters that we talked about adding, like Gaikomo is a good one to get rid of the energy that are already in play and then Noiver and locks it.
The important part with the Gaikomo too is the Buddy Catch, being able to tutor it whenever you need it.
Correct. And it also makes Prowl Palette a stronger card to be able to go search a quick copy of Iono or an additional boss's order to knock out a key card that's threatening your Noiverns. Because they are pretty bulky as a stage 2, like 260 HP, not as much as V-Stars. But most attacks can at least live one hit, and with pre-retreat, you can kind of start recycling them and bouncing them back and forth. So definitely something that's on the works, and get to you guys as soon as possible. I'm on to the next list already.
Awesome. And then we also had some of you folks, not me or Casey, but the rest of you guys went over to a challenge over in, was it Corvallis?
Yep. Yeah, Corvallis.
Cool. And I actually didn't hear how this went, so I'd be curious to hear if anyone wants to explain how they did there.
Yeah, I guess I'll start. I finished in 4th place, which pretty good. Finally on the board for points.
That's cool.
Yeah. But I played the same Lost Box list that I played the day before. And round 1, I didn't get the best of hand. I started Drapion as well, which didn't help. But I was able to top deck a Nest Ball, I think, and get the Greninja and draw 2 cards, and then got a VIP and started going. But I went against Sablezard, which feels like the more favored deck into the Lost Box in the Lost Box mirror match, just because they run Pokegears and they also have the 3 vacuums normally, and they also have Beach Courts. So, and they also don't have to have these V Pokemon that starting the Drapion probably hurt me a little bit too. But they don't have to have all these V Pokemon and whatnot. And in the mirror match, it really feels like you win if you get the Sableye first. Not to mention they also play Hawlucha most of the time in the Sablezard deck. So they just get more damage into play pretty quickly, and they're also hitting their Colress more often with 3 or 4 Pokegears in the deck. So it was a pretty tough match. It came really close because my opponent misplayed turn 1 or 2 and didn't get their Manaphy down, so I was able to Greninja. But then for second turn, they got their Manaphy down and spit into my Greninja for 110. And I was like, alright, this is fine. I'll be 3 prizes ahead if I just Kramer an attack here. But I actually, I was like, all right, I need like 4 seal for a heavy ball or something, because I found out first turn that I prized my Cramorant. But I wasn't able to find anything, and I also missed Switch, so that let them Sableye to knock out my Greninja, knock out a Compe, and set up my Manaphy. So that was pretty rough, because then we were tied in prizes, but they also had the extra damage in play. And from that point, I wasn't really able to pull it back, especially since they had got the Manaphy down. So that was a little bit of a rough one. Pretty disappointed after that. But after that, it was pretty smooth sailing. So this was a 5-round event, I should add. So round 2, I went against Arcdura, and I was able to go first and get the turn 2 Dragonite. So it feels like if that happens, it's pretty easy.
It's really
Yeah.
hard.
Raps.
Did it have multiple Arceus set up?
They did, but
Okay. Did you kill the one that had energy?
no, well, because I had to rope, I didn't have like boss, so they brought up the one without the energy, and then I Dragonite into that. But I think that's still fine, because then that lets you the next turn either spit, or if you can get to the Sableye, set up the next Arceus, or just attack again with Dragonite, because most of the time they're knocking it out with the Arceus, because they have to double turbo. So
There's ways, but I'm betting they probably
they needed
just
a
didn't
lot
get
there.
it.
They needed like Choice Belt, Alakazam, V-Star, and so yeah, it was a little weird for them. But got that game pretty easily. And then round 3, what did I play against round 3? Do you guys remember what I played against round 3?
I don't.
Yeah,
Was it Tinglu?
it was yeah. I think it was Tinglu. No, that was round 4. So I don't know what I played against round 3, but round 4 I went against Tinglu. I was pretty worried about that, because they can just shut off your abilities, and it's not super great. So it took me till like turn 4, I think, to get out the Dragonite. But as soon as I got out the Dragonite, it was pretty good. I mean, it was still a little tough, because they had they played 4 Bravery Charm. So I hit into the first Tinglu, and then was able to get the Vacuum. And then they couldn't set up anything that next turn. So I got like a free turn to just knock out their Squawkabilly with my Dragonite. And then I got my 4 seal for my last Vacuum to knock out the third Tinglu for game. But they went down to like 2 prizes, and my Dragonite was like half damaged at that point, so it was a pretty close matchup. And then in round 5 was probably my easiest matchup, to be honest. I went against like one of the kids' moms in like junior or senior division, I think. And they all it was like a Miraidon deck with like Pachirisu to do like 20 for each of your bench Pokemon. Electric Pokemon and Flaffy. And I just knocked out Miraidon with Dragonite, and then I just Greninja twice in a row for take the last 4 prizes. So that matchup was pretty easy. So I finished that 4-1. So yeah, felt pretty good. There was just that first round that wasn't the best, but after that it felt pretty good.
The redemption.
Yep.
He actually got 2 hours of sleep, so he's good.
Yeah.
He
And,
was late that morning, by the way.
Yeah. The guy I lost to round 1 did end up finishing 5-0 as well. So.
That feels good when your first round
Yeah.
opponent that you
Yeah.
lose to ends up winning the whole event.
Yeah. So it doesn't.
It's kind of weird. That's happened twice to you
Yeah.
in 2 days.
Yeah,
That's
it
kinda
has. It is pretty weird.
Weird. Huh.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Next on that one, Dyson, how do you do?
I got top 8, finished 8th. Got some packs, pretty fun. But I piloted the same 60, guaranteeing a lost box, ran that back. Round 1, played against Arctina. It was pretty close, but he got the final final boss KO to take his last prize card, and he just kept judge locking me, which is pretty hard for Lost Box decks to come back from. So Arctina took that one. My round 2, I actually played against the Garantina mirror match. Started off Sableye, going first, attach pass. They cooked up with double battle VIP pass.
Ugh.
Got the squawk. They were playing a squawk variant.
Oh yeah.
Got
That one's been running around a little bit.
got 2 Comfies going. Got a Colress. Got 4 cards in the Lhasa, and they got their Cramorant down. They squawk. So they saw like 13 cards, and they couldn't get the donk off with that Cramorant. So I survived that turn and finally got set up, got my Tinas online, and kind of just checkmated them from there. They couldn't find their V-Stars. And I took that one. Round 3, I played against DJ round 3. I was able to path lock him. He was playing an Arceus variant. And
You forgot to play a Stadium Bump.
yeah, he didn't play that Stadium Bump. But I took that one round 3. My round 4 matchup, I played against Arc Drago. He missed the turn 1 attachment. He also mulliganed like 3 or 4 times, which just put me up ahead by so much. And I took that one. He wasn't able to get his Drago set up because I kept boss KOing him. Couldn't get him evolved. So I beat that Arc Drago deck pretty easily. In round 5, I actually played against another mirror match. Garantina Lost Box again. Started off pretty mellow, just getting Comfies, Battle VIP. I went for the turbo route, getting 3 Comfies out and 1 Tina out, which might have been my misplay there, instead of getting out double Tina. But my opponent actually had a spicy tech with cross switchers. He was able to get to 7, cross switcher up my Garantina, my lone Garantina V, and hit me with that Lost Impact, which inspired me to play cross switchers in my list. That free boss is very, very, very strong. But that was my finish, able to finish top 8.
Nice. You learned something from the tournament. Some new cards that you want to try out.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess I can go next. Round 1, I was playing Gardevoir for big surprise. I've been playing Gardevoir since it released. Round 1, I lost to a Tinglu that stalled me out long enough in the early game that I just couldn't get a board established. Round 2, I beat a Fortress deck because they give you free prizes. So you have to take less prizes. Easy matchup. And then round 3, I was playing the Gardevoir mirror, which, for those of you who know, it's my favorite matchup to play. There is no.
You actually request Gardevoir mirrors every time we play.
Yeah, like it's hands down the most fun you could have playing Pokemon. There's no sarcasm in this statement. And I have the dream turn 2. I have 2 Curlias, double rare candy into a Gardevoir and a Gardevoir EX, and I still lose the game.
Ugh.
It came down to time. I had to make a desperation play.
The better board. Did he win by prizes or just time?
Prizes.
Yeah. It it was weird though because he had to make a play that might not have been correct because he was turn one of
Turn 0.
time.
I was turn 0.
Yeah, and then you had 2 turns to win. So he had to knock out. He had to go 2 prize rather than going like 1 prize, 2 prize, 1 prize. So he had to play a little differently.
Yeah, I had to put Zacian into play when I would have preferred not to.
Gotcha.
And it got bossed for game. So that's kind of unfortunate. I think there was one turn in the mid game that I could have played differently. I think I could have stranded the Gardevoir EX in the active with 300 damage counters on it, so they couldn't attach to it. But I got 2 in my head, like, oh, I'm 10 short, there's no reason to attack it, so I knocked out something else instead. But I think if I had just trapped it there, they couldn't have done a whole lot for it. Like, it'd have bought me an extra turn.
Yeah.
So I think that might be the one turn that may have made a difference, but outside of that, it's just the way the matchup goes sometimes. So.
Yep, it goes to time.
And then I dropped after that because 2 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate. We were three players short of top eight points for the event.
Yeah, that was rough.
So yeah, it made it a little bit difficult to get points.
Unfortunate. Still overall though, what DJ? How did you went what in the event? Sorry.
Yeah, so I brought another brew to the deck to the tournament. I played Fortress, Wu-Chan, Arceus Trevenant.
This guy just threw this whole binder on the table and went, "We're playing this."
Well, yeah, it's definitely a deck I wanted to try at least this season, and it definitely felt like it had legs. Like, if I would have got a little bit more play testing with the game, the tournament probably would have been different. And going into this weekend, I will bring it back again and try out some tweaks. But round 1, I played against a player named Patrick. He was playing a Suian Typhlosion with Hatterene and Alakazam and I want to say a Sableye. Inteleon with quick shooting. So I ended up going first, attaching an energy to Arceus, benching 2 fortresses, passing turn, and his first turn he started with a Cresselia. I believe it's from Astral Radiance, where if it's your first turn, you can attach 3 Psychics from your deck. And he was able to bench 2 Suian Typhlosions and Hatterene and charge up Suian Typhlosion with 3 energy. So, like, the dream start for his deck, what he wants to do with it. And in my turn 2, I went B-Star to search out a way to get Wu-Chen into play and an Iono. And I popped both fortresses to put 10 energy in play. 4 on the Wu-Chen, 3 on the Arceus B-Star, and then 2 on a Trevenant V. And then I was able to switch Iono down to 2 and snipe his Suian Typhlosion right after I put a Path of the Peak into play. And then, his following turn, he is able to find a Hatterene V max, evolve his Typhlosion, bench a Sobble, bench a Alakazam. Well, those are already in play. And then he charges up his Hisuian Typhlosion, passes to me. I have a pretty good advantage. I own him down to 2 again. And opposed to sniping his Sobble or his Alakazam, Radiant Alakazam, I put 240 damage on Typhlosion V-Star. And the next turn, he's able to Path Bump with a Pokestop, Rare Aerodot for Rare Candy, um, Rare Candy, Inteleon, switch into his Typhlosion, move damage counters from Typhlosion onto my Wuchen, and then do 20 damage with quick shooting. Uses Sulion V-Star's V-Star move to automatically knock out and take the game. And in hindsight, if I would have just sniped his Alakazam or his Sobble, that play would have never existed, as well as his Hatterene when it had any damage counters on his Pokemon to move over. So, I got a little too ahead of myself. Fortress does force yourself to be at 2 prize cards, so you kind of want to take out the threats early. But I did play cards for that scenario. I played a Penny and a Charon's Care to pick up damage Pokemon. And I played Trevenant V for the Lost Box and Gardevoir matchup to burn resources out of their hands after Iona or Roxanne down to 2. Going into round 2, I played against Jaden, my son.
That's funny.
Ended up getting that win. It was okay. He was a good sport about it. He's still learning his deck. Round 3, played against Dyson. He talked about it. He played Path to Peak before I could V-Star or Fortress. And after he did that, I realized I don't play a Path bump. So the game was kind of free. And then round 4, I stayed in it. I ended up playing against a Mew. Was able to Fortress Pop onto an Arceus V-Star, attach a Defiance Band, knock out his Mew before he can evolve. Also plays a Path of the Peak, which turns off his Genesect. He drew, ended up retreating into Meloetta, and I followed the turn with a Boss's Order, knock out the second Mew, and going into his next turn, he benched one, went to Meloetta, and I followed up with a second boss to knock out the Mew. So got the Yumi next game with the Path Lock. And then round 5, I ended up playing it out because we were there anyways. And I played against Arctura Umbreon. Dead Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Started 2 Wuchens and a Trevenant V and a Pineco. No draw supporters. But Arctura set up like Arctura things with the Starburst to get set up and Adventure's Discovery. He was able to knock out a Trevenant V and a Pineco, and I was able to finally attack with Wuchen after 3 manual attachments, sniping his Luminion to get 2 prize cards. He ends up bossing a Trevenant just to take the 2 easy prize cards and go down to 1. And my following turn, I bring back up the Wuchen. I Ono him down to 1, put an Arceus B into play, and I ended up finding another Pinecone, but I evolved it right away to deny the prize knockout. And I was able to snipe his Umbreon B that he was planning on using to Dark Signal per game. But Wuchen does 60 damage for each prize card your opponent's taking. You're taking 5. So it was doing 300 damage. And it was back-to-back turns with Wuchen, the same Wuchen. Knocked out his Umbreon, Luminion, and then the following turn, his last turn, he hit with Duraludon for 220. Wuchen has 230 HP, so it was with 10 HP. And I ended up evolving Arceus, using Starbreath to find boss, bring up Umbreon that's weak to grass, and pretty much shocked that he wasn't expecting the loss there, especially after his explosive start. So I ended up going 3-2. Have some tweaks I need to make for going into next week. I think I figured it out, and I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Real quick, Umbreon is grass week. Was that caught?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That was how he won, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
When it's on the bench, weakness doesn't matter, but it was sniping for
Yep.
damage. But bossing up his VMAX and hitting the 480.
The one shot.
Yep. It was game. And so I really felt good about this deck. Casey had built another version, which I don't have the cards to, so I played this version, and I felt like I found a competitive deck, mildly competitive. So
I think that leads us into DJ's Shop Reviewed Corner.
yes, I definitely want to take this time when it's for traveling. We have plans as a group to travel to as many tournaments as possible and chase the World Championship invites. And, just to take a couple minutes and kind of just review the card shops that we see. So if you guys ever are thinking about locally going to go visit, or if you ever visit Oregon, you can get our little 2 cents on card shops. I will start off with Saturday. E4 Games and More is our home store. So, what would you guys review E4?
It's probably like a 4.9 out of 5.
I agree with that statement.
I'm contractually obligated to say it's a 5 out of 5.
It's a really good store, really good employees.
Me.
But yeah, it's got a lot of open play space. It's got a good snack bar. The prices are pretty good. And for those snacks, price packs and all that are about what you expect in terms of current Pokemon. But has a decent single selection. Overall, pretty good store. I'd give it like a 4.5 out of 5, 4.9, whatever was said.
Trent Dyson, what's your 2 cents?
I agree. I give it like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's got AC in there, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
We sure do.
That's
And a fish
that's-
tank. I stared at that thing for hours.
That's one thing that card swords are lacking in. That AC is definitely very key. But yeah, I give it 4.5. Great service.
Trent?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Like the singles, I mostly just buy singles and sleeves from there, and tournament entries, of course. But all that, I mean, it's all good stuff. So yeah, whatever you guys said, 4.9 or whatever.
Yeah, I'll close the statement. Yeah, E4 Games was definitely a fantastic environment, right? I've played Pokemon there. I've played Magic, drafts there. Now mainly focusing on Pokemon. That's what we're doing this year. I met all you great guys there. I was able to take my family and meet some great folks. And it's not just the store itself. The community is also in a Discord. People help each other with decks or certain cards for a tournament. So it's a fantastic environment. So definitely wanted to start this segment to talk about the card shops that we visit. And the second one we went to was called Kraken. What? Kraken is it Games and More?
It's just Kraken Games.
Kraken Games, located in downtown Corvallis, which is actually pretty cool. On the same block, there are 2 card shops. We didn't get to visit the other card shop, but for a player of any type of TCGs, having that option so close, it seems like a great gaming town. So that one, only about 4 of us went. I'll start off with you, Dyson. What did you think about Kraken?
The Kraken, it was a little hot in there. But I did really like the layout of the store. They had a pretty nice wall of product with like sleeves, deck boxes, play mats. They had like their own Pokemon set up. They had a good singles case. The people there, I like the people there. Good people. You could definitely talk to them. Very easy to talk to. I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
Awesome. Now, Trenton, what was your impression?
Yeah, I thought it was a cool card store. It had pretty good size playing area. Pretty well run event. So I'll give it a 4.7.
Ooh, okay. Now, Daniel, I think your opinion matters the most because you probably got to experience the most. You did a little bit of everything there. So what was your opinion?
So just one correction, it is Kraken Cards.
Okay.
Just so we get the shout out correct. But So yeah, I dropped early, so I had a lot of time to just kill in the store. And so I spent a good amount of time talking to the staff there, and they're really friendly, really knowledgeable. We talked about TOing and stuff like that. Overall, the shop was nice, price is good. Yeah, it was a great shop. One of the better ones I've been to thus far. So I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and how was your experience actually purchasing singles from them?
Super convenient. Their kiosk is super nice. They use like some TCG player kiosk thing that ties in with their store, and you just place an order in the store, and then you go pay for it at the counter. So it's super convenient. I might look into seeing if we can steal that or something similar.
Awesome. Yeah, no, my overall take, right, especially bringing, a junior to event, I definitely want to make sure that the place looks clean and the staff are well organized. And yeah, all the dots were crossed and T's. We showed up, deck lists were prepared and ready with extra pens. The event was ran super smooth as quickly as they could. They got up to the next pairings. I think it was a competitive prize for it. They gave prizes to the top 8 players, so the top half of, top 1/3 placing players, which I feel like going to like a competitive event is something, really nice. You can still chase prizes if you're not getting points, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah. I want to say that the employee that we spoke with was Brian.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, Brian. I ended up misplacing my my bag that had my wallet, card keys, ID,
Ooh.
work phone was in there, and he helped me find it. He reassured me like, "Hey, this is a great community. Like, I wasn't worried about your stuff being walked out the door." And I want to give a shout out there. That's awesome that you're able to go to a place and not worry about your personal belongings being taken from you. And then he did make a statement. He was talking to me and Daniel. They're really big in another card game. They have, what was that statement, Daniel? They have 2 of the TOs in the Northwest for...
2 like really high rated TOs or something for Flesh and Blood.
Oh.
Okay. Yep, that definitely seemed like that was that store's passion. Outside of the, the top 2, Magic and Pokemon. So if you're a listener and you're a big fan of Flesh and Blood, definitely check them out. They have a great community, they said. If it's anything like their Pokemon, that's awesome. And want to make sure we got that shout out.
So be on the lookout. If you're a bad store, we're gonna blast you on this podcast, so you'll never recover. All right, thanks everybody for listening to this episode of the Mildly Competitive Podcast. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, if you do like our content, please feel free to like, subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Give like a rating up or give us a follow so you won't miss our next episode. Usually every Monday is our release. We hope to try to keep that on track. So far, I've been pretty good about it. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.
See you.
See you, guys.
Doses. Like and comment.
Like and comment. If you have any cool decks, just post them in the thing, and I'm sure Daniel will play them, and he'll be like, "Oh, let's play Gardevoir." And then he won't play Gardevoir. He'll play that weird.
Try not to.
He tries his hardest not to play Gardevoir ever.
Okay, we're.
Oh man.
I know. I'll stop.